Welcome to Mighty Married Moms. Join us at our kitchen table twice a week as the Mighty Married Moms, Debbie, Linda, Wendy,
invite spectacular guests to weigh in on staying sexy, vibrant, and healthy,
building marriages with soul-satisfying connection, raising happy, healthy, successful kids. Conversations with Mighty Married Moms will bring you closer to the life you really want. Episode 88. Today's show is brought to you by Deborah C. Owen, Family and Life Coach at youcanraisegreatkids.com. If you are tired of worrying about the choices your kid is making, or tired of the stress of constantly arguing with your kids or them arguing with each other, then don't wait until you are truly desperate. Get the help you and your family need and deserve today. Connect with your kids with calm compassion. Call Deborah Owen at 978-835-4354.
Hello, Mighty Married Moms here. I'm Wendy Williams from connectagain.org.
Linda Tighe from All Well Breaks Loose.
And Debbie Owen from You Can Raise Great Kids.
Hi everyone. We just had a great conversation with somebody that was very inspiring to me as a woman who's trying to grow something and blossom in my later years, shall we say, in my next revolution. She calls it an encore revolution, and I definitely feel that that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
So Laura Willis was with us today, and she is a brand strategist and positioning expert with a group that she's called Encore Revolution, and she really taps into not only helping people with their messaging, with their branding, with their graphic look, but also couples that with kind of the inner work of really uncovering and identifying who and why they want it, what they want to do and why they want to do it, and how to get there. She was just terrific. She gave us some really wonderful insights. What were some of the takeaways that you guys got?
Well, I think one of the things was really understanding the why.
Yeah.
That's the real core belief of what it is that you're passionate about and why it's so important to you. And if you can understand that and then get a little bit of help perhaps in articulating why it's important to you, and that, which is the whole messaging thing, then you'll be able to reach out to more people and help more people.
Right. And people who actually have that need that you have an offer to match will find one another easily, because you're able to really speak authentically about that.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I found interesting was the whole why thing is so inaccessible because of the way the brain structured. Tell us, you're our brain expert.
Yeah. So for people who didn't get to hear the original interview, or in case you've forgotten, the whole idea is Simon Sinek has his fabulous book called Start With Why. It was an absolute game changer for me. Really made me think a lot about life in many respects, not just business. And if you want the short version, he's got his great TED Talk that you can look at. It's about 18, 20 minutes.
How do you spell Sinek?
S-I-N-E-K.
Got it.
Thank you. And so his TED Talk is a kind of condensed version of the book if you want the Reader's Digest version. But the idea is, on the outside of this, what he calls the golden circle, which he came up with on his own, by the way, is the what. Then the middle circle is the how, and then the inner circle is the why. And he was fascinated to discover that the brain is actually constructed the same way as his golden circle that he came up with entirely on his own. And it's been a little while since I've looked at it, but the outer part is the
neocortex.
It's the thinking part of the brain. It's how we rationalize things,
make
right?
decisions.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then
the scanner.
The scanner. Yeah. And then as you go further in, you get to the limbic part of the brain. And the interesting thing about this, and Laura reminded me about it, I had forgotten, it's been a little while since I read the book, the limbic part of the brain is all emotion, and we don't have a language center in that part of our brains.
Isn't that fascinating?
So that's why when you say, I have a gut feel about this and I just can't explain it, I can't describe it, there's a very biological basis for why you can't explain it. It's because you have no language center there next to your emotions.
Interesting.
Right. And for you fellow entrepreneurs out there who are maybe like us, who are moms who are now looking for other things to do, working from home, we like that schedule of having that flexibility. We don't want to give it up. And I think there's a lot of us out there, right?
Sure.
And so we think the first thing you think is I have to have a shiny new website, and I have to have,
everything
logo, and I have to have all these things.
All the what and the how.
It's all the what and the how. And fascinating that if you want to attract clients to you, whatever it is you're doing, that they don't make decisions based on the information, because the information part of the brain is the outer,
No,
neocortex,
but
right?
what we hear all the time is we make our buying decisions based on our emotions.
Our gut.
Yes.
And then we rationalize it with the neocortex, the thinking part of the brain.
Right.
But you have to
You have to
really
hit the emotional part.
Yeah. And you know what? We're talking about entrepreneurs, but it can be that way anywhere in life. Let's say you want
Yeah.
to, you want to have some influence over your kids or over your spouse. You need to talk to them in a way that addresses what's important to them from their emotions, from their own why. And then once you are able to talk to them from that place, then you can get into, well, how are we going to do this, and what is it we're going to do?
Exactly.
So I mean, this is applicable to lots of places in life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And tapping into something that's really, really important. Like, I really want to be, the soccer mom, the best soccer mom. Well, why? Because I want my child to know that I'm with them, through thick and thin. That might be the why, as opposed to, I want to make sure that the other women in the town know that I'm, on point. Hopefully that's not everybody's why. It could be, but the why hopefully is because I want my kid to feel like I've got their back, or I'm always available.
Right,
Who knows what
right.
it is? So it can be, like you said, applicable to anything. It's not about,
That's
but
actually-
tapping into why.
That's actually a great example, because I want so you think about this. What's your goal? What's your real goal with your kid? I want my kid to know I love them unconditionally. So how do I describe, how do I show that? Well, because that's the next circle, right? How do I show that? Well, I want to be there with them in various situations. I want to show up and just let them know by my presence that I'm going to do that. Okay, then we go out to the what. What's the what? Oh, okay, I'll be the soccer mom. Or I'll be the class mom for,
mom,
whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Or I'll drive them to their practices or the rehearsals or whatever it might be. So yeah, I like that example actually, Wendy. That's really good. Starting out with what it is you really, really want to convey.
Right, yeah. Why am I
How's that-
doing these
yeah.
activities? What do these actually mean? And do they serve my why? And then you might come up with, soccer mom is actually not a good avenue for me to
Right.
connect with my child. My child needs me to hang out with them and read to them every night, or whatever it might be.
Right.
Exactly.
So you might say, so I'm going to forego the hours being soccer mom and apply those hours to going to the library and getting the really best books, or whatever it is. But I think just really connecting to our why, and giving for me, I heard a lot of like, okay, it's all right that I can't access that, because it just, for me, every once in a while I go, oh, there it is, that's what I want to say.
Yeah,
There's the
yeah,
words.
yeah. And
Oh,
there
and they're
it
gone.
goes.
And they're gone.
Yeah.
Or I read something else and go, oh, that's what I'm trying to say. Oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's so amazing to me. So to know that my language center isn't there is helpful, and that someone like Laura, a brand strategist or somebody who's into self-empowerment, is somebody that'd be really great to come alongside and take one of her programs to help you find that bridge between the why and the what and the how. It's just incredibly helpful. I really, a lot of lights went on, Laura. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
And she was also talking about the research on energy, and I do want to do a little bit more research on that myself.
Me too.
But she was talking about how if you connect to things that have excited you in the past, and that's a great way to bring yourself to excitement in the present. And that is something that I've been doing some work on with some of the coaches I've been doing, and working with my clients too, is think about something right now. In fact, let's do that. Think about something right now that's really excited you in the past, that was just a phenomenal experience. And you don't have to tell anybody. Just imagine it in your head. Think very carefully about what that is. Now, feel that excitement inside of you. Feel it rising. Where does it start? Does it start in your stomach? Does it start in your heart? Where does it start in your, in your chest? And feel how exciting that is. And now what you can do is take that feeling and maybe anchor it. I was telling a client recently, just do a little pinch on the back of your hand, very gently, just as as you're feeling that excitement, feel that. Oh yeah. And then anytime you are feeling down, or
Give yourself
just give that
and
little
that wiring
pinch,
back up.
yeah, and bring that excitement back up, and get that focus back in your life, and remember, oh yeah, I'm excited, this is why, and this is what I'm going to be doing next. And that's a really powerful exercise.
Yeah,
It is.
that's that mind-body connection.
Exactly.
That I often think of in a healthcare realm, but it can be applied so many ways.
Everywhere.
One thing, did I tell you guys this? I heard recently that the energy work, the energy field is, the energy field of the body, but
Yeah.
the field of energy medicine or energy study is very, very interesting. If you wanted, somebody did I don't know if it was an experiment, but when you give somebody an EEG or you want an EEG on somebody, an electroencephalogram to get their brain waves, they put those little electrodes on the head and they look at the graph and they go, oh, yep, the brain's working, good. They've done it now where they take those same electrodes and they put them 7 or 8 inches away from the person's brain and they get the same pattern.
Just pretty
It's
cool.
amazing. Which Laura said.
Yeah.
She said it's 10 feet.
10
You can
feet,
read that
yeah.
energy.
Yes. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
You don't. The electrode doesn't have to be touching the skin to get the. It's out there. Your field is on me. Her field's on me. I'm on you. It's all exciting. Yeah.
Well, we're so connected.
So electric.
We're so connected, though, and that's the thing that a lot of people get stuck in wanting to do their own thing and feeling like, oh, I'm in this alone and I don't have anybody to help me. And one of the things that Laura was talking about is, no, you're not alone. You know, there are a lot of people out here who want to help you. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Right.
And once you recognize the fact that it's okay to ask for help, and you know, I hate to say this, my personal experience says to me that women tend to be more likely to ask for help than guys.
Yeah.
So if you're a guy listening to this, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
It's women like it when guys ask for help.
Yeah,
just
they
saying.
do.
Yeah.
If that matters. So anyway, don't be afraid to ask for help, because what's going to happen is by putting out that energy, really, that, you know, I'm looking for this, people are going to come find you and they'll be able to offer you what it is you're looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure that probably comes from some primordial, men have to be the provider and the protector, and so
Right.
it's harder when you feel that you have to be in that position to ask for help, because you want people to look at you and feel that you can protect them and you can provide and you can take care of.
Yeah.
And that was something that Laura was saying. If you are an entrepreneur or a mom or a spouse and you want to help your partner, help your kids, know that you have to be able to ask for help too, because you don't want to come into any of those situations where I'm the almighty knowing person, I'm the only one who can provide and protect. We both can give to each other and learn from each other.
That's that vulnerability and credibility
Credibility.
thing that we were talking about at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we revisit that? No.
No,
The
go ahead.
vulnerability and the credibility thing is really great. It's true. I know it's true for me. Anytime, like if I'm buying a car or if I'm, you know, talking to a waitress and the waitress becomes real and human in some way, like, I'll tell you a funny thing. These glasses that I'm wearing, I get about 5 to 6 compliments on these glasses every week. Drives my husband crazy because he thinks they're quite homely. But when you're sitting there in a restaurant and the waitress goes, "Oh, I just love those glasses," and becomes like a real person, she, you know, "Oh, thanks," and yeah, I've had them for 6 years, and you're not the only one to like them, kind of thing. We have a little personal, real exchange. Then somehow my tea gets refilled more often. The meal comes really hot. She comes, you know, double checking on how are things going here at this table. You guys all right? You know, there's a camaraderie. Her credibility as a really good server or wait person has gone up in my eyes. I'm much more likely to give that 20-25% tip than I would have been. You know, all those things. And so that's just a very simplistic example. But the credibility comes about through being vulnerable or authentic or real. Sometimes when I think about vulnerable, I think of, you know, let me just tell you my most soft spot of my life, but I think it's more like authenticity, being
Absolutely.
Transparent about my
Telling a
life.
story like you just told right now.
It's
Yeah,
both.
yeah.
It's both. It can be any of those things.
Without TMI, as Laura pointed out.
Yeah, without
Yeah,
TMI.
exactly.
Right, so that
exactly.
vulnerability, credibility piece is really key for, as women or whoever is the entrepreneurial spirit, the people that would be likely to come along and ask Laura to kind of hold their hand through this process are people that, you know, the days of you know, saying to somebody, you need to buy my thing because of all these features and benefits are behind us. Now it's more like, I'm here, this is what I have to offer. I understand that you might be somebody that's looking for a new car, a new way to be in the world, how to have a great business. Let's talk. Let's see if we can, you know, and so that's where the credibility comes from. It's just a different world in the 21st century, and we need to get on board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was terrific. So you can find Laura at EncoreRevolution.com. And you can also find her on Facebook, facebook.com/Encore Revolution. And she would love to be able to talk with you and see if there's a fit for anything that she's doing.
Yeah,
She's
just join in on her webinars she gives and all kinds of great information she puts out there.
She puts a lot of good content out there to really help women get inspired for their next chapters.
Yes.
So, and we'd love to hear about it too. So that's it for today from Mighty Married Moms. Again, I'm Wendy from connectagain.org.
Linda from All Well Breaks Loose.
And Debbie from You Can Raise Great Kids.
And we'd love it if you would rate us and review us on iTunes and tell your friends and family about this, because this is a great resource. And we love sharing it with you. We love bringing you the best of everybody that we know and beyond to help us be the kind of women that we want to be and have the lives that we really want to live. So thanks very much. Mighty Married Moms signing off. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Mighty Married Moms. Tune in twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays to meet fascinating and inspiring guests who will help you create the life you've always wanted.
You can find these episodes and special gifts just for you at mightymarriedmoms.com, as well as a link to our Facebook community,
where we continue the conversation around the kitchen table. Please also help share the love by leaving a review on iTunes. We'll see you next time.